Hi. This session, I will highlight a freak curbside walk violating the road rules in a highway in the US. Well, case in point is we were in Lawrence, Kansas. We, in the sense, the trio, the three Indians. And in the campus, we slept in the Ellsworth Hall, a 9-story building from the, what is called the car park side, and a 10-story from the stadium behind it. And the location of the residence hall, as hostels are called, addressed in the United States, especially in university campuses, stood on what is called Mount Orient. Well, the mount is only on the mountain, or the peak is only 15 feet above the local ground. And Kansas is well known for the monotonous rolling plains anywhere in the United States. And any little knob which is 10 feet or 20 feet tall, they very coolly, comfortably designate as mountain or a ridge. So in the entire campus of the University of Kansas, Lawrence, this was the tallest point. Anyway, also the state of Kansas, Nebraska in the north, Oklahoma in the south, also well known for what is called tornadoes, a phenomenon that is very unique only to the United States, and especially this part of the United States, Midwestern United States, that is how it is called. And one of the things that we, before parting at night, we agreed was we will sleep and comfortably till 12 o'clock or whatever, because our brunch will go on until 2 in the residence hall, dining hall. So by 12 o'clock, we decided to meet again in the lobby of the residence hall. So by around 11 o'clock, I got off the bed and saw my friend who was sleeping in the other bed in the two-bedded room. He was sleeping there. Well, what shall I say? Practically with the little clothes on. All right, fine. That was one of the things Mr. Nair won, the so-called cultural shock. And this guy is from, of course, Brazil. He is a chemical engineering student. He completed a bachelor's degree. He was planning to go for a master's somewhere in the United States. So he came for this orientation program. And then, I just walked over to the toilet side, and the bathroom is not a bathroom as we call it. It is actually a hall with several showers without any enclosures. In other words, you have to take a shower underneath the shower head. And the only good thing is, of course, it is not a mixed whatever. Unlike these days in the United States campuses. So I finished whatever I have to do, the so-called morning rituals, and then got dressed up and went down to the front reception area of the Ellsworth Hall. That is what is called the floor number 1. They don't call ground floor. Basement floor 1, that is the street level floor. And in that floor there was a small help desk, and a small distance, 2 guys, 1 girl and a young man were sitting there. And I asked, where do I get my lunch? Lunch. He said, no, you have only a brunch today. I asked, what is this brunch? Well, it is a combination of two meals into one go. Well, by that time, my friends also came down, and we three jointly walked into the dining hall. And these two guys were pure, to the core vegetarians, and they had a lot of problem in choosing what to eat, in identifying what to eat. They have a battery of questions before they touch any dish. So, I had a laugh in my mind, that's all. That's all. I cannot laugh at their face because, I am not used to this kind of tricky questions. I can go into lunch, which is purely vegetarian or purely non-vegetarian. All are fine with me because, I have no taboo about meat or beef or a goat or sheep or pork or what you call it, whatever you call it. Well, of course, we finished our brunch about by comfortably. We had a glass of milk, we had a juice, the American style. And then we came out and then sat in the lobby and decided to what to do now. The half day is before us. So I suggested, why don't we walk around the building and, stroll there in the campus. The morning was very brilliant, but the temperatures were very low because, that's the way it is, humid climate. And then we spotted on the horizon some kind of, ads or signs or icons of gas stations, rotating, not one gas station, two or three different brands. And for example, Exxon, Shell, Citgo, and so on. And then we walked in that direction within the campus only, and all of a sudden we started listening to what is called highway noise, or the vehicles, going fast and past us. And then we walked very close to it. We found that there is a highway. Well, what do you do? And we could see more of that area with gas stations. It is actually a shopping area. There's so many shops clustered there. And then, the thought went through our mind, why not we cross this road and then make a walk? Because it is only in the 5 or 10 minutes of walking distance for us. Well, unfortunately, there was a barrier between the road and us. It was a wire fence. So, what do? The Indian mind will say, why don't you jump over? Or why don't you crawl over, crawl under? So, that is exactly what we did. And then some cars were honking. We thought, okay, the cars are honking, driver is honking for some reason. In fact, they were actually warning, this is not a road where pedestrians are allowed. But that part never occurred to us because, there was no sidewalk. Okay, that is one important thing. But, our knowledge is so poor about the highway system in the United States that, we dared to walk through the road. And of course, we walked one behind the other. That is one thing, because we knew that there is a lurking danger. Number two, we walked along the curbside. And, occasionally we heard some honking, and we had no idea where to cross this road because on either side, the up section and the down segment of the road, there is busy traffic, very fast traffic. So within 3 or 4 minutes, we heard a police car, the siren of a police car behind us. We just stopped and looked in the direction of the police car. Then we knew that the car was approaching us. When the car came very close to us, the driver, the policeman inside the car, the driver, and another co-policeman is there. So these people asked, get in, young man, get in. We will drop you where you want to go. So we naturally got in, and because, it was a free trip. So he drove down and then got out of the highway through the ramp and then through an underpass he went to the what is called the shopping complex, shopping area. There he parked the car and asked us to get off, and then walked along with us, and asked us, why don't we go and have something to eat? And there is a Kentucky Fried Shop. Then we said, yeah, we will go there. And they also walked, and on our way, he was explaining to us what we did was actually a very criminal act for which it is a cognizable offense as per the highway rules. You are not supposed to walk along the highway unless there is an emergency. And that the so-called emergency, you cannot prove, but they have to accept whatever point you say as emergency. Anyway, so far so good. Then they said, wished us well. Then they also told us, don't repeat it. And then, naturally they would ask, they asked actually, why are we there? Was that the first time that we are there? And so on and so forth. Sorry. Then we went into the Kentucky Fried and pulled our money and purchased the hamburger or whatever, and with a Coke. And then well, my throat has some problem. Don't worry. No, it's not a big problem. It is an irritation, quite unusual. Then we finished our what is called the Kentucky Fried treat. Walked around the complex, saw the shops, went inside the shops, and looked at the stuff that was on sale. And then what we did, we followed the subway. Instead of making a turn toward the highway, we walked straight ahead, because the geography told us that we will go to the campus. We went to the campus. And in the campus, what did we do? We went to one of the rooms, not my room, but the other guy's room. And there, one of the things we noticed was, every room has a brass plate with an inscription that says, when the siren is on, you walk down all the steps to the basement and take shelter in the basement, because the basement area is perhaps the safest place during a tsunami. It is actually, during a tornado, because that is the only way you can save yourself. Because, if you took the elevator, you will get stuck. If you stayed in the room, the room may fly off. That floor may fly off, will be sucked into the air up in the sky. So that is something very interesting, because there is what is called a tornado warning. Then, we decided what to look. Let us go to the basement and see what is the facility there. And we just, we have to take the steps as per the instruction. And there is bold sign painted on the wall indicating your escape route to the basement. And in the basement, what we discovered was there was huge array of shelves or closed glass paneled, glass doored storage space. There is a lot of eatables, biscuits, fruits, and we wondered how the fruits can. They were told they will change the fruits within a certain number of days, because it's all refrigerated. Then light drink, soda pop, as it is called, popular soda, Pepsi or a Coke, etc. Then toilet facilities and a place to sleep. And the place to sleep is basically on the floor only. And there is a bundle of blankets, bed sheets, as well as pillows. See, this is actually the way the American mind works. In other words, this shelter is something that is self-sufficient. And this tornado thing is an annual occurrence. The only thing is it may not hit the what is called the Ellsworth Residence Hall or the University of Kansas Lawrence area, but it will definitely hit some place in states like what is called Oklahoma and north of it Kansas, or further north what is called the Nebraska. And every year huge loss of material happens. By law, every independent home built in the states, 3 states, should have a concrete walled, concrete roofed, and a concrete floored basement. It is supposed to function as the tornado shelter. That is a kind of innovation, imagination, and preparedness that existed even in the 1970s. Well, of course, this is what that does not happen in India. For example, today's newspaper, the papers report that there is a flooding in northeast, including Assam. Every monsoon takes a toll of few scores of lives and property and material in the northeast. And what have we been doing? We have been, just giving away food packets for the marooned people perched on rooftops, people perched on trees, and people perched on sort of elevated island-like a thing, which is above water. There has not been any kind of ingenious way of warding off such natural calamities. We cannot stop a natural calamity, but we can always protect our citizens from such natural calamities. And of course, what else is in Lawrence, Kansas? The Lawrence, Kansas is an area where, like I said, tornadoes are very common, and such protective measures are there even in a shopping mall. Even in a shopping mall, take it this way, even in a shopping mall, there is a tornado shelter. Without a tornado shelter, no institution can function. Now, so that much for our attempt to cross the highway or walk through the highway, and how the local troopers, saved us. Otherwise there is a lurking danger on a highway always. Some car can come and hit us, and we don't know what will happen to our lives. So then, naturally, the second and third day in Lawrence was very simple. The fourth day, that is a Friday, the orientation program was inaugurated by the chairman of the city council. City council means chairman of the Lawrence City Council. And of course, another interesting thing is we were given $5 every day as pocket money in addition to residence, place of residence, as well as food. So it was a very interesting phase of the what is called our orientation program under the Fulbright scholarship scheme. So thank you.